Hello and welcome to the Bitcoin Stats Show, where we cover all the latest news and stories on the world of cryptocurrency. I'm Sam Billingham, and with me this week is Ashley Ford. Our other co-host, Will Francis, is visiting the motherland in Buxton, so won't be here with us this week. But show just as good without him. So without further ado, here we go.
Off we go.
Ashley Ford, big news in crypto. How are you feeling this week?
Good. What's been happening?
Our mate, Sir Richard Branson, had some stuff to say this week.
Yeah. Virgin Galactica.
Yeah,
was the first, obviously, to accept Bitcoin.
It was quite a big deal when he did that as well. I think people were maybe a little bit surprised.
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's quite an ambitious move.
It's quite a lot of money, isn't it? It's like the equivalent of 250 grand or something.
Yeah. Ashton Kutcher signed up, I know that for sure.
Yeah, I think there was 6 Bitcoin people signed up in the end, paying with Bitcoin.
Wow.
It's a lot of money, worth a lot of money in Bitcoin.
Yeah, I wonder if the Winklevoss twins have...
I think they did, actually. I'm not sure.
Right. I mean,
it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it would be one of the things that they'd probably want to invest in. I imagine if they've got, that much of an interest in it.
Why not? They've probably got enough to go around, haven't they?
But I mean, this week he's obviously described Bitcoin as the pioneer of a global currency. Who do you think is going to be the next person to stand up?
Yeah, I think he even came out a little bit and said it might be under the next one might be under the brand Virgin Money or something . But I think
I mean the main part of the story was the fact that obviously Virgin and him have obviously adopted Bitcoin, and Bill Gates and other large figures within the technology industry have kind of stepped up and said that Bitcoin's great, cryptocurrencies are great, but transparency is a problem.
Yeah.
So
and they also kind of come out and say that it's really good how it is, and it's good what it's come to so far, but this isn't necessarily the end goal. This isn't necessarily it. And I think we've got a long way to go to see whether Bitcoin is going to be the one that makes it, or whether it'll just be something that's kind of like Bitcoin. And it was always an experiment, and it's a good testing ground to see if anything else comes of it.
I mean, a lot of other cryptocurrencies have emerged. No one's really kind of taken the made an imprint like Bitcoin has.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Ripple. Ripple's got a massive market cap, but that's because they've released all their coins, and
it's a different way of trying to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, there's a lot of companies experimenting with different options out there, but we'll have to see. Blockchain.
Yeah, blockchain. So there's a Bitcoin.com domain. .com domains are the most well-known, most sought after, and Coinbase has had the Bitcoin.com domain. In the last week, Blockchain.info have signed a deal to take control of the Bitcoin.com domain for 5 years. Yeah. Which I imagine the search results for Bitcoin.com are right up there.
Astronomical, yeah.
People searching Bitcoin, it comes up at the top. And at the moment, they've now hosted their content. Blockchain have. It's kind of like a gateway. They've got a link to wallet services, like news and information, and then just kind of exploring Bitcoin. So kind of more in depth of what they've got on blockchain.
Because blockchain obviously acquired Zero Block, which is the most popular mobile app, and obviously they had the who was the guy that came on board? Clark Moody. Obviously came on board.
The charts.
Exactly. Came on board as the developer there. So and now they've got the desktop version. So it's I think it's probably a good marketing investment for them to obviously have real estate on Bitcoin.com. So
it's strange that I don't know. It seems strange to me that they signed a deal for 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they would have had to pay that much money for that, or whether it's kind of Blockchain.info do some good stuff. They're kind of well known for being a safe, secure wallet service online, and kind of just promoting Bitcoin and taking Bitcoin into positive light.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I don't know if there was any details around the actual cost of that.
The engagement.
If that becomes the main portal for new people searching for Bitcoin, and then in 5 years, if Bitcoin takes off as much as we all hope it does, what happens in 5 years when Coinbase are just like, okay, we'll have it back now?
Well, 5 years time, Bitcoin stats. We can.
We'll be
buying
it.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it's a good opportunity to say that the Bitcoin Stats show is brought to you by the team.
Find the Bitcoin Stats app.
Yeah.
Across the bottom.
That's
To Will Francis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Although we probably won't actually add that in the edit this week.
Just cut that out.
We can't do that. Yeah. Okay. We haven't got the technology.
We haven't got the skills.
We haven't got the skills to add. That's Will Francis.
Premiere Pro all day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So do we want to talk about the upcoming release?
Yeah, why not? Are you doing that? Or
No,
me?
you can use all you. All you.
So, we got some exciting news that hopefully in the near future, I don't know quite when.
Soon, trademark.
Yeah, soon. We've got a pre-release version of the desktop app for Bitcoin Stats. It's currently built for Mac. But we will hopefully, fingers crossed, launch it on Windows and Linux as well in the near future. So that's quite exciting because it brings in obviously the full functionality from the Bitcoin Stats mobile app, but it brings it into your desktop space, and uses your taskbar to show you the latest prices for the exchange that you're currently viewing, and you can obviously read all the news. You can get the Bitcoin Stats show as well. And it also has the functionality of bringing social into the app as well. So you can view, social stats and analysis around Bitcoin, how it's trending on the web, which is quite exciting.
So there's something a bit different that other people aren't doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're kind of taking a bit of a kind of, a different direction in a way, because I mean, there are so many apps out there that just provide you a service of seeing, this is quite coldly what the price is on Bitcoin, and nothing really much around it. You might get a few news feeds, but we try and filter the news feeds and make them really relevant to the audience.
There's a lot of stuff out there that is kind of regurgitated, or that people wouldn't want to read anyway. So you only want the top stories.
And I think bringing social into it is it's just a different angle. It's quite exciting as well, because we can do quite a lot with that data. We can. I think one of the most exciting features, in adding social, is that it can unlock the potential to track the price of Bitcoin over time with sentiment and the positive, negative trends online, and the strength and influence.
And a lot of Bitcoin is derived purely out of what the sentiment is online and what people are thinking about it.
Absolutely.
And so it'll be interesting to see whether we can tie a lot of that together.
And we're obviously speculating on that, but in terms of the cross analysis of that, But I think the in time we're building up a large data set of that. So in time we will release those features. Whether they'll be there for V1, I don't know, but it's coming very soon, and it's quite exciting.
Keep your eyes on the website, and we'll let you know on the show, of course, as soon as it's released. Bitcoinstats.co.uk.
Exactly. So
what else we got?
So the first annual Blockchain Awards.
This has
been announced.
I don't know, it's quite exciting that it feels like it's legitimising the community a little bit more by hosting some awards. Bitcoin 2014 conference over in Amsterdam.
And it's on Friday, May the 16th.
I think that's when they'll be announced. It's probably at the conference.
Celebrating innovation and excellence in the Bitcoin community.
I don't know if there's any prizes or anything, or whether it's just a gold statue or golden Bitcoin
like
thing you get to put in you. Probably get to stand up on stage if you're at the conference.
So they've got quite a few categories. Most impactful charity. Most creative video. Could be us, right?
Most creative video.
Is this creative?
Probably going to go to somebody in the Dogecoin community.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Yeah. Most innovative podcast. Most influential investor. Best ATM design. That's quite an interesting one. We'll have to talk about an ATM watch. Most insightful journalist. Best mobile app.
Okay, so we've got a few categories that if you'd like to nominate us for, feel free to go to the blockchain.com website, and there's a nominate button on there. Feel free to enter us.
That would be amazing. We've never won anything, have we?
It's only been going a short amount. I've won some stuff.
I haven't won anything. So yeah, they've got quite a few categories on there. So yeah, including Bitcoin Champion and Visionary Academic Paper and blah blah blah. So yeah, quite an interesting. I think awards like that are quite good for the community. It brings people together and allows people to be recognised for the work that they do. What's next? Talk to me.
Our beers.
Oh, beers, yeah.
Right, so this week we've got a new selection of beers as per our new segment in the show, which is a amateur beer review. This week I'm drinking Brixton Atlantic APA, brought to us a couple of weeks ago for our desk beers service. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Big shout out to them.
It's almost gone, so let me try them on.
What's it taste like?
It's tasty. It's quite hoppy.
What's the percentage?
What are we looking at here? I can't even read about that much of it. It's 5.4%, so it's actually not that strong.
It's brewed just down the road in London.
Just down the road, yeah. They make some nice beers actually, in a classic American pale ale style.
Right. Is it similar to a Brooklyn? What would you kind of class it against?
What would I class it against?
Is it an old speckled hen or is it a Brooklyn?
Nah, it's not. It's definitely like an IPA.
IPA, yeah.
Right. Quite hoppy. Normally, they expect them to be a bit stronger, so it's quite smooth actually. Saw some reviews online that people thought it tasted like plastic.
Encouraging.
So apparently, I'm drinking a bit of plastic.
That's what plastic tastes like. You can eat the label to find out.
What about you? What you got?
I've got a Hever Pilsner. I presume that's the way you pronounce it. Yeah. Hever. Again, 3/4 of the bottle is gone, but I'll give it a go. It's German beer, so it's going to be quite nice. 4.9%. Do you know, it's very refreshing. I'm tasting it like I've tasted it the first time, but it's very, very refreshing. It's citrus notes, very grassy, with a kind of aftertone of slight bitter hoppiness.
Do you get the bread taste with that one as well?
That's right. It is a very slight taste of bread. Yeah, it's kind of a bread that's come out of the oven probably about 20-25 minutes.
The aromas, freshly baked bread,
and it smells very citrusy, but it's quite a light beer, very light, very low carbonation.
We should probably be doing this with glasses, shouldn't we? I'm sure anybody who actually reviews beers will be thinking it doesn't work without a glass, does it?
And you know what? That's a very good point, because in most beer reviews they pour it, don't they? And you check
and then you get the aroma when you
exactly. And you measure the head. Is it white and fluffy?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
None of that.
None of that. That's why we call it the amateur beer.
Beer reviews outthebottle.com.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but all in all, very very nice, very very good. So moving on,
back to Bitcoin.
Yeah, back to Bitcoin. So there's a company that has set up a Bitcoin wallet that is wearable, and you can pay for stuff using hand gestures, and it hooks into the Coinbase wallet API. It sounds extremely risky.
Sounds good. It's good when it works. Good idea. I'll make it easier to pay for things until you dance around and you lose all your money because. It's £10, £20.
Yeah, so I presume it's something like
you must have to initiate it and then do a gesture.
So is it like Connect? Do you presume it works something like
It's a swipe or
how
you wear it on your wrist.
So it's a wristband that connects with something, or is it actually the?
Oh, it might connect with your phone.
It sounds dodgy. Sounds dodgy. Sounds
dodgy. Ashes out.
Wouldn't want to touch it.
No, there's no need for that at the moment.
I'm out. But so moving on, regulation. The Chinese bank.
Yeah, classic. This happens every week.
Yeah.
Another Bitcoin banned in China scare. Seems pretty legit this time. They've cut off. Once again, they've cut off bank accounts for exchanges in China.
And that's all Chinese banks?
Yeah.
Right. So any business that is dealing with Bitcoin
have been told to remove their money They're basically
From
told to
their bank
remove their
accounts.
money from their bank account before they have their assets frozen.
Right.
But on the good news, like there's a load of Bitcoin ATMs in China now.
Yeah.
And there's like the ticketing type system where you buy like a voucher, and then you trade your voucher, you put your voucher code in online, and you get Bitcoin sent to you.
But that's quite a good point. So
wallet.
how is that going to affect obviously the exchanges and businesses that already run in China with these ATMs? How's that going to affect them?
I don't know.
I mean, are we going to see Bitcoin ATMs being removed from the imaginary Bitcoin map that we've created?
I mean, technically they would end like Bitcoin ATMs would end up getting removed if the businesses that are running them have no way to deal with the like cash deposits that they're getting.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, so I mean, it's an interesting story, and that leads us nicely onto ATM Watch, which
Favourite part of the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Will Francis's favourite part of the show.
That's it. Yeah. So what's been happening this week? I hear in Korea, they've
have they?
Yeah, they've opened a ATM. It's not
Is it
on
new
the-
ones or is it just?
It's a new ATM that's popped up in. I don't know exactly where it
which
is, but it's
type-
in South Korea.
type it is.
But yeah, that's a new one. Where else have we got? We've got one quite close
There's
to
the
us.
one, oh yeah, Ash's and our other friend Charlie Patterson's favourite shop just
Yeah.
over the road.
At Charles
I
Patterson.
think it's 255 Shoreditch High Street, the Vape Lab.
Yeah.
If you're into e-cigarettes or what do you call the vape ones? Are they vapor chamber?
No, they're
What are
just
they called?
e-cigarettes, aren't they?
They're just e-cigarettes. I don't know. If you're into your e-cigarettes, there's a coffee shop, an e-cigarette cafe on Shoreditch High Street, which has teamed up with some Bitcoin company
Is it
somewhere.
RoboCoin?
I don't know if they've announced which one they're getting to bring a Bitcoin ATM to the Vape Lab. So that'll be like a stone's throw away from the office.
Yeah, no, they've set up, or is that something else? The cointrader.net team have come to the UK, basically a quick coin, set up a Bitcoin ATM at the phone. Yeah, so that's
Quick
correct.
Coin.
Yeah.
Quick Coin?
Quick coin, yeah. Quick Bitcoin. Yeah, quick Bitcoin.
That's the online service that they're hooking into.
Yeah, cointrader.net.
Rather than using like an exchange,
Yeah,
so using Quick Bitcoin, who will probably provide them with their Bitcoin, and they probably have a network of sellers that they buy from.
Yeah. So that's quite interesting.
So that's another one. There's one. What is it? The Old Street. Old Street Station, which is
a few hundred yards up the
a bit
road.
north, and the little one just over the road.
I mean, there's actually more Bitcoin ATMs than there are actual ATMs in Shoreditch.
Yeah.
To find an ATM around here is, you're a lucky man.
Especially an ATM where you're not going to queue behind 20 other people.
Yeah, very true, very true. And Japanese entrepreneur.
He's got himself a Bitcoin
Yeah.
and a Bitcoin ATM.
First RoboCoin ATM. And he wants to drive around with the ATM in the back of a camper
He
van.
wants to have a mobile Bitcoin ATM where he just takes it around Japan.
Yeah, and that's Wall Street Journal
Wall Street Journal
right
has
there.
been reporting about that, as well as I think he's ordered a couple more.
Yeah, 2 more ATMs.
He's got 2
and he's
more.
looking for a partner to decide where to put them.
Yeah, because it's all well and good being like, I want to buy some, and then you realise that you can't just stick them anywhere. You can't really have it in your living room. So you need a shop. Like most of what's happening here is like somebody who wants to invest in getting an ATM and like getting money out of the fees teams up with some sort of cafe or bar or something that has the space and the footfall to put the ATM in, and I guess they come to some agreement whether they pay up front or whether they get a portion of the fees. They come up to some agreement where the people who invested in the machine stick it in a cafe, and it's got somewhere to live.
And I think it's quite a good. I mean, it's very interesting for companies that are new, especially like the Vape Lab, and even probably the Shoreditch bar up the road. Is it Shoreditch Station Bar, isn't it? Up the road.
Is the one in Is that the one in Jaguar Shoes? Shoes, or is there another one in Jaguar Shoes?
Oh, I don't know about that one.
I think there's one in Jaguar Shoes as well.
Right, but I think it's good. It's a good opportunity for these companies. I mean, the Vape Lab's very new. It's only been around for
a few weeks.
Yeah, exactly, a month if that. And it's a great opportunity for them to, almost invest in something that's a bit different and a bit new. And it's gonna are talked about subjects at the moment. It's going to get them a bit more publicity.
It does get them a little bit of publicity.
Yeah.
And like it's even getting their name like mentioned around a little bit, like word of mouth, just like, oh, have you heard about that Bitcoin debate lab?
And they're doing something different, so it's good. I think it's,
and I mean,
good.
It's probably not much to them
No.
to stick the machine in there.
No, absolutely not.
They've got quite a bit, well, not quite a bit of space, but the space in there isn't exactly used that much. So
just going back to the guy that's driving his camper van around with an ATM,
yeah.
I've thought of a classic flaw in the plan of the business here.
Yeah.
So if he's driving his camper van around and I want to get me Bitcoin out, or I want to buy Bitcoin.
I'll buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, how and I'm still on the street corner where he was last Wednesday.
He's gone.
He's gone. So how do I
Have a
know
look
where he
online.
is?
Where are you this week?
Yeah, is he going to have a GPS map with a
I don't know.
tracker
Maybe
in
he'll
it
just
or
post
something?
dates where he's going to be.
What, on Twitter?
I don't think he's worked it out, mate. I think if we give him a shout, mate, if you need help figuring out how you're going to let people know where you are, you probably haven't thought about this yet.
Yeah, or maybe
Need
come on the show.
Come on the show to
Come on the
start
show,
with.
explain
if you
how
need
it
help
works.
figuring out what you're going to do with your web
Yeah,
service,
love to know.
let us know.
Love
and
to
we
know.
can help.
It's quite interesting actually because when you go to events, I've been to Regent's Park, Hyde Park, to some music festivals, and they have these mobile ATM machines in vans where you can extract your money. It's all so I think the ATM machine, RoboCoin ATM, that the Japanese entrepreneur is going to be driving around is quite a good idea. But obviously, if he's driving it around in just random space and not at a centralised event, then I think it's going to be quite.
You need some way to get out, get it out there where you're going, or else you might end up going somewhere.
And no one
driving for hours to get to somewhere new.
Yeah.
And then nobody knowing you're there, and
it's like you finding the people instead of the people finding you.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to hope you've got a massive Bitcoin van.
Yeah.
And when you drive into a new place, you're in between going open your doors, and people are like, "Oh, what's your
flooding
van?"
in? Yeah. Get your Christmas tree lights out, wrap it around the wheels, that kind of thing.
And yeah, hopefully it's not one of these RoboCoins where it takes each person 5 or 10 minutes
to actually process a transaction.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can have either a long or a short queue, depending on how patient people are. So more news in the ATM world is that in Australia, another Bitcoin machine,
more
ATM
in
machine has turned up, which is it's not the first, but it's another RoboCoin machine. RoboCoin seem to be the most popular, I think.
I think they're one of the
leading ATM provider for Bitcoin.
I'm not sure if there are other two-way ones, but they're the first two-way ATM that is popping up everywhere.
Yeah, well, it seems like they're kind of dominating the market, and there's also one on the way in Sao Paulo in Brazil, so that's expanding.
It's every other day now you hear about them, another one popping up somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we don't hear many ATM machines turning up in the US, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's just because it's actually not that difficult in the US to get Bitcoin with services like Coinbase, which have good relationships with the banks.
Yeah.
The problem we have in the UK is if you want to get it from an exchange, you have to send your money abroad. Yeah. Whereas they don't have, and that's one of the longest processes. It takes 3 or 5 days tops, or something, to get your money abroad. Whereas in the US, you don't have that issue.
And I imagine that's probably the same in Australia.
I imagine that's the main benefit the US has. Yeah. It's easier to buy from
online
services like Coinbase than it is to go through ATM.
To go out your way in.
Or in the UK, you have a lot of these websites that Bitalicious and coin and local Bitcoins and Bitcoin Quick. These services that kind of you buy from people who wanting to sell Bitcoins. It's not like an exchange.
Yeah, we've got local Bitcoin, haven't we, over here, where you can actually.
I think it's worldwide.
Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah. So I mean, it's quite interesting because obviously that doesn't affect the market price in terms of
what the exchanges say. No.
Yeah,
and they're normally higher than the exchanges. The prices
absolutely.
And also it brings up questions of it's a bit dodgy. It's why people don't like it, because you don't know who you're buying it off.
No.
You don't know what their history is.
You don't actually know if they've got any.
I wouldn't necessarily recommend services like that much, unless you really just want to get some Bitcoin as quick as you can.
Yeah, that's quite interesting though.
Okay, thanks for watching, guys. It's been another week with all the latest news of cryptocurrency. Remember to keep tabs on us on Twitter at Bitcoin Stats app, and download the iOS and Android app on their relative app stores. Bitcoin Stats.
.co.uk.
bitcoinstats.co.uk. As always, I'm Sam Billingham. This is Ashley Ford, and hopefully we'll have Will Francis back next week. As always, that's crypto.
Classic, mate.
Do you want to have a go? It wasn't very good, was it?